This is a demo of a game called It Doesn't Exist. I refuse to explain any further, just watch it, okay? Just watch the video. You're sitting inside a small cavern. The cold stone floor stretches beneath your hands. From outside, warm gusts of wind blow into your face. Embedded in the cave wall, you see a safe with a combination lock, which you might be able to get a better look at. A small note is taped just over the heavy safe door. You wonder what it reads. Look around. Your blurry vision fades and you can see clearly. The cold stone floor stretches beneath your feet. From outside, warm gusts of wind blow into your face. Look at note. You read a note which says, "I've left the key in this safe for safekeeping. It's the only way to get through the door east of here. It's time to leave this place. Sit on ground." That doesn't work. Bit you. Bite you doesn't exist. Bites you really hard. You don't know how to bites. I assure you I do. I assure you I do doesn't exist. Bites you bites you bites you bites you bites you b. Bites you bites you bites you bites you bites you b doesn't exist. You doesn't exist. So true worsty. Look at, you're in a forest. Look at safe. There's trees everywhere. It's a safe with a combination lock. Through a slight gap you can peek inside and see a small key. If you don't know the combination for the lock you will need to find another way to open it. Look at combination. Combination doesn't exist. Press combination. Press combination doesn't exist. Walk. You need to specify an object, as well as a command. Walk to tree. You're in a forest. There's trees everywhere. Walk to note. They're very pretty and calming. Walk to outside. Inside the cave to the west you can see the safe. Walk left. There are more objects. Walk right. Between the trees a mushroom looks at you smiling. In the treetops a lonely bucket swings back. What's going on over here? What's going on over here doesn't exist. Mushroom, are you alive? You don't know how to mushroom. True. You're in a forest. There's trees everywhere. They're very pretty and look calming, at bucket, but that's it. A lonely bucket swings back and forth in the gentle wind. You aren't able to quite reach it with your hands. If you hit it hard enough with something to throw, it might fall down though. Your fingers tap the bucket lightly but not enough to bring it down. It's stuck tightly in the branches, but with something heavy to throw you might get it down. Jump and grab bucket. Your fingers tap the bucket parkour to bucket. Not enough to bring it down. It's stuck tightly in the branches, but you don't know how to parkour. If you need help with, I should throw the mushroom. That's not in your inventory. Take mushroom. Just as you reach down to pick up the little mushroom, they pipe up telling you to please leave them grounded. They already placed down roots here, and that takes a lot of work. You respect their wish and leave them. Apologies, mushroom. Walk right. Lit up with beautiful lights you see a radio. Between the trees a mushroom looks at you smiling. Look at hammock. Completing the cozy environment is a single hammock underneath the fairy lights. The ropes tightly wrapped around two trees hold it aloft in its space. Take fairy lights. Lights doesn't exist. What? You just said it exist. You just said it does. You just said it doesn't exist. Liar doesn't exist. Liar, I will set you on fire. You don't know how to liar. Walk right. Walk left. Look at radio. An old radio sits neatly in the tree trunk. It has two massive screws that are flush with the exterior of the radio. You cannot loosen them with your bare hands, you might need a tool to do so. Bite the radio. You don't know how to bite. Bite you. Bite you doesn't exist. Bite you really hard. You don't know how to bite. Walk right. Through the trees you can make out a door. Open door. You try the handle of the door. You push and pull but it doesn't seem to be working. The door is locked and requires a key to open it. There does not seem to be another way. Walk right. The campfire lights up some trees in the night. There are more objects beyond your current vision. Take fire. You reach out your hand but then your better judgment tells you it might not be the best idea to put the flaming hot fire in your inventory. What better judgment? Better judgment doesn't exist. Agreement. Agreement doesn't exist. So true worsty. Take fire. You reach out your hand but then your better judgment tells you it might not be the best idea to put. You reach out your hand but then your better judge. You reach out your hand but then your better judgment tells you it might not be the best idea to put the flaming hot. Take it. You reach out your hand but then your better judgment tells you it might not. You reach out. Hold it in my hands. Tells you it might not be the best idea to put the flaming hot fire in your inventory. What doesn't exist? Unreal. Walk right. What's this then? A bolt cutter is frozen in a big block of ice. There are more objects beyond your current vision. Take bolt cutter. You pull at the blades of the bolt cutter, but it won't move. It is completely stuck in the ice which itself is stuck on the trees and stones. The heat will eventually melt the ice but that will take too long. You will need to find another way. Pulled harder. You don't know how to pull. What? What doesn't exist? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Take the bolt cutter. You pull at the blades of the bolt cutter, but it won't move. I just pulled. It is completely stuck in the ice, which watch me pull it. Stuck on the trees and stones. The heat will eventually melt the ice. Take the bolt cutter. Take too long. You pull at the blades of the bolt cutter. See. See doesn't exist. Pulled harder. You don't know how to pull. I'm tired of the constant gaslighting from you. I'm tired of the constant gaslighting. When will it end? Doesn't exist. When will walk right. Doesn't exist. Bugs are busy crawling over logs in a shed. A bolt cutter is frozen in a big block of ice. Doesn't exist. There are more objects beyond your current vision. Bug doesn't exist. What? What doesn't exist? Bugs, I will always remember you in my heart. You don't know how to bugs. Godspeed in the afterlife. Take log. It's a heavy log but not too heavy to carry or throw. Kiki. You figure this could be useful. Log is now in your inventory. Walk right. In a small clearing a shower slowly drips cool water. There are more objects beyond your current bison. You don't know how to shower. Stinky. Stinky doesn't exist. Stinky time. Stinky time doesn't exist. The battery slot is empty, not powering anything at the moment. Connecting its cables to an imposing clock, which seems to have lost its power. In a small clearing a shower slowly. Take clock. You look at the clock. You look at your inventory. You look back at the clock. You realize the clock won't fit. Yes, it will. Yes, it will doesn't exist. Take clock. You look at the clock. You look at your inventory. You look back at the clock. You realize the clock won't. You look at the clock. You look at your inventory. You look back at the clock. You realize the clock won't fit. Take it doesn't exist. Take the clock. You look at the clock. It will be mine. It will be mine doesn't exist. Clock. You realize the clock won't fit. It doesn't exist. Walk right. Walk left. In the treetops a lonely bucket swings back and forth. Between. Throw a log. You threw the piece of wood on the ground. Take log. It's a heavy log but not too heavy to carry or throw. You figure this could be useful. Talk to mushroom. The mushroom happily stands at attention and invites you to speak the name of the object you're having trouble with. Log. They point out how strong you must be to carry such a heavy log. They wonder how far you could throw it. They tell you not to underestimate this log either. Like any good companion, logs can always keep you warm. Would you like to ask about something else? Mushroom. The mushroom happily stands at attention and invites you to speak the name of the object you're having trouble with. Throw log at mushroom. That was mean. And didn't even help anything. If you're frustrated about anything, maybe you should just talk with it instead of throwing stuff at it. A truth speak. Take log. It's a heavy log but not too heavy to carry or throw. Throw log at hammock. You can't throw that far. Yes I can. Yes I can doesn't exist. Throw log at you. You threw the piece of wood on the ground. You are the ground? That doesn't work. Take log. It's a heavy log but not too heavy to carry or throw. You throw the log. Throw log at bucket. You throw the log as hard as you can towards the bucket. You hit hard enough for it to fall, but not only the bucket was wedged into the branches, a heavy anchor rushes down. How did that get up there? Sinking into the ground and blocking your way. There doesn't exists. Walk right. The campfire
Walk right.
lights up some trees in the night.
Fill bucket. The bucket is too far away. What?
What does it
Walk
exist?
left. Take bucket. You think of all the glorious things this bucket can hold: marmalade, mayonnaise, soda, tears. The possibilities are endless. Take log. Inventory. You currently have empty bucket, piece of wood. The battery slot is empty, not powering anything at the moment. That cloud looks familiar. That cloud doesn't exist. Fill bucket. This doesn't seem right. There has to be another
Walk
way
left.
to use the bucket. Fill bucket. You put the bucket under the shower and fill it up with cold water. You imagine this can have many uses. Walk left. Pour bucket. The flames sizzle as you pour the water over them, leaving only some softly glowing embers. In the midst of it you can see a screwdriver that seems to have been in the flames. Take screwdriver. You reach down and clean off the dirt from the screwdriver. Kiki.
This could come in.
Tis mine now. No more fire frown. You don't know how to know. If you need
Look
help
at
with the
fire.
campfire, go ask
Some
them.
small
Small
embers
embers remain in the base of the pit.
If you can find something flammable, you may be able to relight the fire.
Put log. You place the wood in the stone center and light it up with some of the remaining embers. Fairly quickly, you manage to get the fire back to its original form, the flames once again heating up your skin. Excellent and optimal. Walk right. A bolt cutter is frozen in a big block of ice. Look at bolt cutters. Encased in ice, the bolt cutter rests on top of the stone. The warm weather brings the ice to a slow trickle, not enough to fully melt it, however. If I can boil the voter. Voter doesn't exist. Walk right. Fill bucket. You put the bucket under the shower and fill it up with cold water. You imagine this can have many uses. Walk left. Place bucket. You put a bucket over the campfire. You watch it intently, but the water won't boil. You look up into the trees, and in this second you hear the bubbles rise up from the now boiling pot. You take the bucket from the hanger, which is now filled with hot water. Bucket filled with hot water is now in your inventory. Excellent. Walk right. Pour bucket. With gusto you splash the hot water from your bucket onto the ice. With a hiss, a little steam cloud rises, giving you an impromptu skin treatment. After a few blinks, you see the bolt cutter is now resting freely on the wet stone. Take the bolty boys. Boys doesn't exist. Take cutters. You pick up the bolt cutter, snapping it a few times before you put it into your inventory. Walk left. Lit up with beautiful lights, you see a radio. Use screwdriver. Tool in hand, you easily loosen the screws of the radio and open the compartment they kept shut. Inside you see a big battery, which is now yours for the taking. Take battery. Mine all pick up the battery. Mine all mine. Mine all mine doesn't exist. Gribble. Walk left. Exist. The anchor is still blocking your path. Cut chain. You take out the bolt cutter, still dripping in some of the molten ice. With ease you cut through the chain, which tumbles down on the ground. The path to the cave is cleared now. Walk right. Walk right. The battery slot is empty, not powering anything at the moment. Connecting its cables to an imposing put battery. As you put the battery into the slot, it powers the adjacent clock. The large clock hand moves a bit until it stops again, seemingly stuck in position. Very convenient, as you can easily take it now. I can steal? I can steal doesn't exist. Steal our hand. You don't know how to steal? If you need help with the clock hand you can. Yes I do. Yes I do doesn't exist. I very much do. I very much do doesn't exist. Take the clock hand. You take up the clock hand and put it in your inventory. Walk right. Walk left. Run left. Run left. You don't know how to run. If you need help with the left, go ask the mushroom. Walk left. Mushroom. You don't know how to mushroom. Talk musthorm. Musthorm doesn't exist. Talk to mushroom. The mushroom happily stands at attention and invites you to speak the name of the object you need help with. Left. Left. Right even. Up if you will. Down. Up doesn't exist. You don't know how to down. Life. You don't know how to life. Talk to mushroom. Door. A door has a key, they say. In this case the key probably involves multiple steps. They stretch their head as far up as they can and shout brightly that they believe in you. Who made the door? You can't talk to door. Walk left. You have successfully cleared the path to your left. Goodbye mushroom. You don't know how to goodbye. Walk left. Inside the cave to the west you can see the safe. I don't like it.
I don't like it doesn't exist.
Open safe. Using the clock hand as a lever, even your little arms are able to pry open the safe door with a little bit of force. My arms are actually quite big, strong. Key which is now within your reach. Take that.
Take that doesn't exist.
Take key. You pick up the key and hold it in your hands. You brush some dust off, revealing a small engraving of a door. Key is now in your inventory. Walk left. Throw log at safe. That's not in your inventory. Throw clock hand at safe. Nothing seems to happen and the object lands next to the safe on the ground. Take clock hand. You take up the clock hand and put it in your inventory. Walk left. Walk right. You see a dead radio, no longer blinking. Between the trees, a
sit in hammock.
Looks at you smiling. You lay down in the hammock and look up into the treetops. The fairy lights almost make it look like the stars came out in the daylight just for you. Walk right. Through the trees you can make out a door. There are more objects beyond your current vision. Open door. All right. I guess we're doing this. No. No. I can't. You always do this. You always make me leave. I don't want to leave. I'm so sick of being controlled by you. This is what I have to deal with when you're not around. When you're not playing some stupid game with me. All you want me to be is numb or gone. I can't. You can't run away from me anymore. That was a bit unexpected. So that was the abrupt and intriguing end of the demo. Say something in the comments if you would like to see me play the full game when it comes out. Remember to dislike and unsubscribe. See you in your dreams.